Hi you guys, welcome back to Team Penguin. I'm Sarah and thank you for watching this video. Alright, today I want to talk to you guys about hair. I love doing all different kinds of styles and braids on my own head. So often I'll get stopped and asked, oh my gosh, did you do that to your own head? Did you do it by yourself? How did you do that? So I'll try to explain it simply saying like, oh, it was just this and this. It's actually a lot easier than it seems. Because I want to encourage people like, I'm not like magical, you can do it too. But often I'll get the response of, oh wow, I could never do that. You guys, it breaks my heart because I think mainly it's just a matter of believing in yourself, having some practical tips that can help you like accomplish your hair goals, and having a setup that works for you, and then just practicing. Now, you might be doubting me and thinking, oh gosh, like she just doesn't understand. Hair is so easy for her. Let me tell you, I tried all my life to learn how to French braid. Several people tried to teach me how to French braid, and it just never clicked with my brain. So eventually I just thought, well, I can't do hair, I guess. So all through school, I would just look at the other girls and their really pretty hair, and I just wished I could do that. And it sucked. This was my go-to look in high school. You'd see me in braids a lot, as well as letting my hair be natural, straight, messy bun, ponytail, or half pony. That was it. But then one day it occurred to me, in my late 20s, hey, I'm smart. Why do I keep telling myself I can't do this? So my resolution for 2015 was to learn hair. I had a lot of resolutions. I actually have a really old YouTube video that's still up. You can go back. I had a lot, but the main thing I focused on was I am going to learn how to do hair. I spent so much time on YouTube that year. It's crazy. But it took a while for me to find some channels who explained things in a way that made sense to me. Honestly, at first, I thought, maybe I really can't learn this. But then I found cute girls' hairstyles. Seriously, the way that Mindy McKnight explained how to braid hair and fix hair, it just clicked with my brain. It made everything seem so easy. I was like, finally, I knew I could do it. And honestly, what I learned from her channel made it really easy for me to go to other channels and then like watch their tutorials and understand what they were saying, because I understood the basic braids and techniques. It was so cool. So she taught me real good. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it just takes finding a person who explains things in a way that clicks with how your brain operates, because we are all different, and that's so beautiful. So what I want to do here today in this video for you guys is kind of share with you some of the things that I have discovered and figured out that make it easier for me to do all the different braids and styles on my own head, and hopefully it'll help you guys be able to just take any random hair tutorial and make it easier for you to apply that to your own head with your own mind, doing it by yourself. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing that I think will really help is changing the way you think about watching a hair tutorial. So what I mean is, when I watch one, I usually watch it about 2 to 3 times before I ever really go to try to do it on my own head. So I usually just watch a video once for the fun of it, just to see if I really do like the style, or just kind of just for the enjoyment of it. And then if I like it and I think I want to try it, I will watch it a second time. And this time it's like to learn the technique of what they're doing with the hair, or like how they're manipulating the hair, what they're actually doing to the hair. Sometimes it helps to mute the tutorial when you do this. Hang on. Okay, so I had to take a quick break because a bunch of people walked by. I'm actually living at a camp right now, so yes. So anyway, as I was saying, sometimes it helps to mute the directions on the actual hair tutorial, because then it will let your eyes and brain watch what's happening with the hair. I find that it really helps. It lets your brain really think about maybe how you need to do it or what's actually happening, and so you can focus on that. Okay, so then I watch it a 3rd time, and when I'm watching it the 3rd time, my focus is letting my brain think about how I will do it on my head, because usually the tutorial is someone doing it to someone else's head, or even if they're doing it on their own head, they're not really explaining like exactly how they hold their fingers and stuff like that. I think, okay, how will I hold my hands? And I almost like close my eyes, listen to what she's saying. I'm like, yeah, okay, I would hold my hand here, and then my other hand would come around. I'm holding my laptop, but my other hand would come around and add it in. And I kind of visualize and imagine myself doing it. And if I'm like, that's tricky, what do I do? Then I will rewind and watch the tutorial again. Like, okay, so it's doing that. I need the hair to move in that way. Maybe I need to bring it and hold it in my mouth, or bring a clip in and do this, or scoop it in this way, or try holding my hand a different way. I think through all those things, visualizing them about what would feel good. And honestly, often when I'm doing a new hairstyle on myself, the first several times, I am like watching the video along with me as I'm doing it, like pausing it, doing the step, playing, okay, pause, do the next step, and that's kind of how I do it. Okay, so honestly, there have been a couple of styles, even in the last year or two, that when I first watched it, I thought, oh, wow, I can't do that. And then I was like, wait a minute, what am I saying? So I had to catch myself in that way of thinking and then reframe my thoughts and just say, no, I can do this, and remember your steps and just go back and try it again. So if I tell myself I can't do it, like, it's really impossible for my brain to even comprehend trying. But if I'm like, all right, I bet I could figure it out, and I watch the steps slowly, and I don't think about the hairstyle as a whole, but I just think it's step by step. Okay, I could do that step. Got it. Next step, yeah, I could do that. So if I think about the hairstyle as a whole, sometimes it feels overwhelming and I can't do it. But if I break it down little by little, think things through the way as I just described, it's really helpful. So hopefully that helps you. Give that a shot. Advice number 2. Try the best you can to be able to see the back of your head. This has been a game changer for me. The wind is starting again. We're just gonna do it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. You might be thinking, okay, I don't have a setup where I can see the back of my head. Let me tell you, we can make it so you can see the back of your head. Ways I have set up my living space so I can see the back of my head, because I have moved many times. First way, when I was first learning this back in 2015, I lived in an apartment in Cincinnati, and I had a very tiny bathroom. And so you walked in, there was a big mirror, and then like behind me, right here, was that pole where you hang your towels. I got a mirror that would like stand up and kind of angle, and I would put it on the pole and just angle it so when I faced this way, I could look into the mirror and it would reflect the giant mirror, and I could see the back of my head. And when I turned this way, I could see that little mirror in the mirror, and I could see this side back of my head. Okay. So having that visibility is really important. Another way I have arranged it. I moved into a condo where it was a really nice, like, long sink area, long mirror, and then like walk-in closet behind me. So what I did was I stood my guitar case up and leaned it against the wall next to the closet doors, stacked some books on top of that, and then put a mirror that was like had a stand, so it was like even taller, and like one of those circular makeup mirrors probably, and stacked it on that, and I could kind of angle it a little bit here and there, and then I'd have to get down on my knees and do my hair so I could use the mirrors. So that's another way. One time I lived in an apartment where there was no pole, no nothing. The mirror was high. So what I did was I got one of those command strips and stuck it to the ceiling, and then just tied like a fishing line and tied a lightweight mirror to it. And it wasn't perfect, but it helped. Okay. So let me think. What else have I done?
I forgot it while I was filming this, but I've actually also used one of those skinny full-length body mirrors and propped it up on a chair and angled it in the corner of the bathroom so I could see.
So you guys get the gist. Like, think creatively, find a way to organize your mirrors and things so you can see the back of your head, and you want to be able to see good facing one mirror, turn around, and it will show you the other side. So you want to be able to see both sides. And that helps a lot, all right? So when I don't have a situation where I can do that, it's trickier. And I do my hair a lot less because it's just a lot more effort. You have to add like 10 to 15 minutes or 5 if the hairstyle is simpler to your styling time frame, because the only thing I've figured out that I could do is hold up a little hand mirror and turn around and look. And then I kind of like will pick a piece and see it. I'm like, yeah, that seems good. Put it down, do whatever, then pick it up and test it again. And like, does that look right? Yeah, okay. So it just is a longer process. That's my least favorite one, but if I have to, I can do it that way. If you have a situation where you're like, okay, I just don't feel like I'm very creative, I don't have a clue how I can see the back of my head in this situation. You guys, message me, send me pictures of your bathroom or your mirror situation, and I will do my best to try to come up with a way to help you be able to set it up so you can see the back of your head, because it helps so much. All right, now after all of that about making sure you can see the back and sides of your head, sometimes it really helps to not look, especially if you're trying to make things even on each side. Close your eyes, feel what you're doing with your hands, feel where it is lined up on your head. Sometimes that can really help too. Like mental mirror sort of situation. Because sometimes there's certain braids where looking in the mirror gets me backwards and confused. So I'd have to close my eyes, imagine what I'm doing like it's a mental mirror, and pay attention to how it feels on my head, especially if I'm doing like two braids and I don't want one down here and one like up here. It helps to think about where it feels on your head and how it feels when you're putting it into the braid. And sometimes if you're trying to do a really sweet like ponytail braid and you're struggling, I've found doing two pigtails and learning the concept on the sides where you can see it, your arms don't get tired, get the hang of it. That really helps make it easier when you bring it to the back of your head and create it in a long ponytail. You might have to change your fingering a little, but you'll be so familiar with the concept and way to do it that bringing it back and changing a little bit won't be as such a big deal. Okay, so now we're going to go to my temporary bathroom mirror situation and show you exactly what I mean by holding up the mirror and doing a style. So I thought it would help you guys to see. I struggle and have to look like when I don't have a mirror to see the back of my head for styles that kind of need it. So let's go do that. My bathroom is a camp bathroom. And I have the door open because the natural light is way better than the little light. I'm doing a style today by Annie's Forget-Me-Nots. I don't think she uploads videos anymore, but I really loved her stuff. I thought of a couple things because I just rewatched the tutorial before I came in here. Okay, where is the placement of that? Like in this one I'm about to do, she takes a couple pieces and ties them like in a ponytail at the back of her head. And so I think like, okay, where did she tie them? Was it up high? Was it below, like maybe where her earlobes are? And in this case, she tied it like just right about here, like at this part of the ear. So when I'm doing it, I'll like put them together and then trace my finger back from that part of my ear and say, okay, is it the right spot? Yes. I don't really like doing side parts anymore. I used to, but I'm not into it, but this style works best with one, so I'll do a gentle side part. So I use the mirror in front, obviously, for anything that I can use it for. So we start out with just a little French braid. All right, so you just take it over. Also, when I was watching the tutorial too, I realized another thing I consider is how the person doing the tutorial holds their hands, because sometimes even when they're doing it on themselves, the way they hold their hands and use their fingers to braid is so different than me that if I watch their hands, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. That's crazy. I can't do that. But if I look at the hair and I'm like, oh, she's just crossing that over, I could grab it this way with my hand and that makes sense, then it works for my brain. So all those things to think about. So the way Annie holds her hair, like, makes my brain spaz out. Like if I focus on how she's using her fingers to hold her hair, my brain thinks you can't do it. But if I'm like, no, she's just French braiding, you just do a French braid for a few stitches, then I'm like, oh, I got it. So keep that in mind when you're watching tutorials too. The way people use their hands is different than maybe how it would be comfortable for you. So don't let that throw you off. Here's the final product. It took forever. As you can see, this method is like the slowest one, but still effective. You just have to have a lot of extra time to do it. But here we go. All right, you guys, that's what I've got for you today. Every tutorial that I do for you guys, I'll go more in depth on these sorts of things for that particular style. But today's video was just general things to keep in mind when doing your own hair. So I hope this gives you inspiration and hope. Comment below what hairstyles you would like my tips and tricks for. I'll do a video on it. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see those videos. You don't want to miss them. They're gonna be great. And thanks so much for watching, you guys. I believe in you. You can do this. Bye. They'll catch up to you. They'll catch up to you. They know where you're going. Fly on by. Fly on by. I want to film my video. Fly on by. Please, you noisy things. There they go. Ooh. There's the airplane. I'm glad you all love flying. It's pretty. It's a pretty day to fly. But you're making my work really hard. Boom, fly on by. Boom, fly on by, you plane. Boom, fly on by. You are just so noisy. Ooh, fly your white plane through the sky, yo. Okay. Oh, the wind is gone and the planes are gone. All right, we're gonna try this.